I've never had any issues being a female in the fire service, but 22 years ago, it was certainly an all-male dominated employment. The fire kit itself was quite big and heavy. The equipment was the weight. The recruitment process was completely different. What we do today is not what I had to do. So there's a lot of vast changes through what I've experienced. You've still got to have the same sort of standards of fitness. But when I joined, I had to actually carry somebody, they used to say a fireman's carry, down the 13.5 ladder that we use. We don't do any of that through a recruitment process, training now.
And outside of work, when you used to say to people 20 odd years ago, I'm a firefighter, did you get any strange reactions from people, friends or strangers?
Yeah, not so much my friends because they understood, but when you used to go to appointments or you had to explain what your employment was, and when you said fire service, they would never believe you that you would drive the fire engine or actually be a firefighter itself. They always sort of looked at you and thought you'd do like the admin work or something else related to the fire service, but never actually physically on the fire engine. It is mad. It does surprise people. Still a little bit today, mind you, but not as extreme as before. When you get off the fire engine, they are sort of surprised, especially if you've got 2 or 3 that come off that fire engine. It's really encouraging, and why not? You know, that's what we're trying to achieve. You know, we want to recruit more females in the fire service.
And Emily, listening to this may feel totally alien to you. When you said you were going to become an on-call firefighter, how did people react?
My friends know the kind of person I am and my capabilities. You know, I've always been quite sporty, going to the gym. It probably wasn't a surprise. I think my mother still doesn't believe that I do it, which is strange because her father's father helped set up our local equivalent of on-call.
No way.
Where I'm from. Yeah. I actually didn't realise until I applied, and then they said, "Oh yeah, you know, you're a great granddad." It was quite a surprise. It was quite nice. I think at work, people, when they hear my pager go off and I go running out the door, a few heads will turn when new people in the office going, "What on earth is going on?" So then everyone has to say, "Oh, don't worry about that. She's probably just off to put out fire, pull a horse out of a ditch. Could be anything."
That reaction of, does that depress you, inspire you?
It depends who's doing it. Some people think that I can't do this because they might not know me or have seen anyone like me in this position. They're just doing it out of genuine misunderstanding. They've just never seen it. At Abingdon, we're not as good as Faringdon. I've never turned out with a fully female crew. There's 2 of us at the moment, but we've had a pretty good track record of bringing people through onto the watch. We have pretty good gender diversity. We can turn up and we can show everyone that we can do it. It's nice to see that we can change their minds about what we're capable of doing. Absolutely. That's the thing that I really enjoy. We're just as much part of the crew as anyone else.
Becky, I'm going to come back to you and ask, you know, especially with on-call firefighting, there will be a lot of parents out there, mums out there, who think, how the hell would that ever work? Like, what am I going to do when I get this call in and I've got a kid at home? How do the parents, you have a lot of parents who are doing it, presumably.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a parent myself and I joined the fire service before I had my children, so I completely understand. That's probably the main concern. I had good family support, which I would advise, but we try to be flexible with parents, usually mothers that have got kids at school, that we generally do a contract so they cover hours that suit them. So it doesn't have to be your 9 to 5. They can do hours that work around their children's schooling, but we can adjust as well. It's so different nowadays. I always say to anybody that's interested is go to a local station and speak to the firefighters themselves. Everyone can do it. I think if I can do it, most people can do it.
Emily, I wanted to talk to you about visibility. I mean, when you're on the way back from a job, you see some school kids, girls looking at you. Do you think like you might be inspiring them into thinking completely differently about rescuers, heroes, heroines themselves, what they might do as a job in the future? Do you ever think about that?
I'd like to think that societal attitudes are changing to this kind of work. And the more we're out there, the more we get involved in our local community, the more they see us. Yeah, I mean, they're seeing us at an age where they are impressionable and they are gathering all this information about the world. And I hope that to them, that just registers as normal. I don't want to say that we should be an inspiration. I just want it to be normal.
Women in Work.